You ain't bout it, you ain't bout it, you ain't kick on the mic. You ain't bout it, you ain't bout it, you ain't kick on the mic. You can go and subscribe, cause I be on it right. You ain't bout it, you ain't bout it, you ain't kick on the mic.
The Chicago Bears have found their new offensive coordinator. Hey, what's going on, Bears fans? Thank you so much for joining me for another episode of Keek on the Mic, the podcast all about the Chicago Bears. As always, if you're new to the channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button and the notification to catch all Bears content right here on the podcast. According to Tom Pelissero, the Chicago Bears are close to finalizing a deal with offensive coordinator Shane Waldron to bring him to Chicago to make him the new offensive coordinator of the Chicago Bears. As you guys know, the Chicago Bears fired offensive coordinator Luke Getsy, and 12 hours later, Shane Waldron was their very first interview for the offensive coordinator position for the Chicago Bears. And Bears fans, I absolutely love this hire of Shane Waldron. He brings a whole lot of experience to the position, so it's going to be a little bit different compared to a guy like Luke Getsy. He was currently the offensive coordinator for the Seattle Seahawks for the last 3 seasons. So let's go ahead and break down the hiring of Shane Waldron a little bit more right here on Keek on the Mic. First and foremost, I want to give a huge shout out to Matt Eberflus, Ryan Poles, and the Chicago Bears for being really methodical in their search. They took their time in finding a new offensive coordinator. I really appreciate that. Obviously, when we hired Luke Getsy, he was hired right after Matt Eberflus was hired as the head coach of the Chicago Bears. They didn't really do a really thorough search when they hired Luke Getsy. I do appreciate that Matt Eberflus and Ryan Poles and the Chicago Bears took their time in the search, because finding the right offensive coordinator was really, really important. Rather you keep Justin Fields or draft a guy like Caleb Williams. And that was one of the big things I really liked about a guy like Shane Waldron. When you look at his background, it can go either way. This does not point that they're going to keep Justin Fields or they're going to draft Caleb Williams. This is right in the middle. I think Shane Waldron will have a huge impact on who he actually wants as the quarterback for the Chicago Bears. But I can say this firsthand about Shane Waldron. He played a major part in resurrecting Gino Smith's career, especially when people were labeling him as a bust. He made Gino Smith into a legit NFL starting quarterback. So that was one of the huge things that was on Shane Waldron's resume. And that's why a lot of Bears fans really like this hire for the Chicago Bears. In 2022, as the Seattle Seahawks offensive coordinator, the Seattle Seahawks had the 13th total offense, 12th in passing, and 18th in rushing. Once again, he brings a whole lot of experience. And one thing I really, really like about Shane Waldron is that he's coached with a lot of different offensive masterminds. He coached under Sean McVay. He has worked with Matt LaFleur of the Green Bay Packers. He's worked under Bill Belichick, Pete Carroll. So he has a lot of experience working with a lot of different coaches and a lot of different offensive masterminds as well. So he has learned from the best. And once again, he has a whole lot of experience actually calling plays. So it's going to be the same scheme. So there's not going to be a lot of turnover and these guys learning a brand new offense. So that is obviously a positive thing if you do keep quarterback Justin Fields. I know there's a lot of Bears fans saying, well, there's no point in keeping Justin Fields because he got to learn a whole new system, a whole new scheme. That is not going to be the case with Shane Waldron. So if the Bears do in fact keep quarterback Justin Fields, the terminology is going to be the same. But the one thing you have to understand about Shane Waldron that's going to be a whole lot different, it's going to be a lot different compared to a guy like Luke Getsy, is that Shane Waldron knows how to play to his quarterback strengths. Once again, he resurrected Gino Smith's career. There's a lot of people calling Gino Smith the bust. Before Shane Waldron got a hold of Gino Smith, he really played a major role in getting the best out of Gino Smith. In 2022, Gino Smith had an absolute career year. Where in 2022, Gino Smith in 17 games started had over 4,200 yards passing, 30 passing touchdowns to 11 interceptions. Then in 2023, Gino Smith had over 3,600 yards passing, 20 passing touchdowns to only 9 interceptions. I believe he did miss a couple of games. Once again, in back-to-back seasons, Shane Waldron resurrected Gino Smith's career and made him into a legit starting quarterback that people can actually respect. And to me personally, I know there's a lot of Seattle Seahawks fans saying good riddance. Thank God the Chicago Bears hired Shane Waldron. You can even argue that Shane Waldron has a little bit more to work with. Once again, he's coming into a situation where he's either going to have Justin Fields or Caleb Williams. DJ Moore, maybe you have the possibility of drafting Marvin Harrison Jr. You have a proving offensive line. You have a really good backfield in Khalil Herbert and Roschon Johnson. So there's a lot for Shane Waldron to work with. And I'm not saying the Seattle Seahawks Seahawks didn't have a lot. Of course, they had Lockett, DK Metcalf, right? But when you look at the quarterback position, the most important position in football, I think Shane Waldron is coming into a better situation in Chicago than he had in Seattle. So once again, Shane Waldron did wonders with a guy like Gino Smith. So just imagine what he would be able to do with a more talented guy in Justin Fields, or even drafting a guy like Caleb Williams. So I really love the hire of Shane Waldron as the new offensive coordinator for the Chicago Bears. Overall, Bears fans, what we are getting in Shane Waldron is a guy that has a whole lot of experience actually calling plays, a guy that's going to be creative, a guy that's going to continue to play to not only his quarterback strengths, but the players that he has on the offensive side of the football for the Chicago Bears. So overall, I feel like this is the A+ hire for the Chicago Bears. He's going to come in right away and be a major upgrade over a guy like Luke Getsy, which is not hard to do whatsoever. So Bears fans, we should be absolutely thrilled about the hire of Shane Waldron being the new offensive coordinator for the Chicago Bears. But overall, before I let you guys go, how do you guys feel about Shane Waldron being the new offensive coordinator for the Chicago Bears? Let me know down below in the comment section. Before I let you guys go, make sure you continue to hit that subscribe button and the bell notification to catch all Bears content right here on the podcast. Make sure you follow me on all my social media platforms, and make sure you share this episode of Geek on the Mic with every single Bears fan that you know. But other than that, be back for an all-new Bears podcast right here on Geek on the Mic. Thanks, guys, and as always, bear down.
You've been listening to Geek on the Mic, a podcast all about the Chicago Bears. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and hit the bell notification to catch all Bears content right here on the podcast. Thanks, guys, and bear down.